It was a quiet morning in a small town. The sun was rising slowly and the streets were still empty. Sarah, a young woman in her late 20s, sat by her window. She had a cup of coffee in her hands, but her eyes looked tired. She had been working every day for the past 6 months. No breaks, no weekends off. She was always busy meetings, phone calls, reports, deadlines. Her job was demanding and she wanted to do her best. But now her body felt weak. Her mind was tired. She felt like something inside her was broken. As she looked out the window, she saw a little bird sitting on a tree branch. It sang a soft, happy song. Sarah smiled a little. For the first time in days, she noticed something beautiful. The bird did not look busy. It was just there, enjoying the morning. Sarah stood up, took a deep breath, and walked to her small kitchen. She looked around. Everything was in its place, clean, quiet, and simple. But something felt empty. She opened her phone and checked. Her messages. More emails, more tasks, more reminders. She put the phone down, she thought. When was the last time I went for a walk? When was the last time I laughed without stress? When did I last feel free? She couldn't remember. Her job gave her money. It gave her respect. But it had taken something from her peace. Later that day, she went to work as usual. She smiled at people, answered calls, finished tasks. But inside she was thinking. During lunch, she sat in the office garden. She looked at the sky. The clouds were moving slowly. A cool wind touched her face, and suddenly she felt something. She felt sad. Not for anything bad, but for forgetting. Herself, a friend from work, Daniel, came and sat next to her. He looked at her and said, "You look tired, Sarah. Are you okay?" She nodded and smiled. "I'm fine." He paused. "You're always fine, but I think you need a break." Those words stayed in her mind. That evening, Sarah went home and didn't open her laptop. Instead, she took out an old photo album. It was full of pictures, family, friends, holidays, smiles. She saw a photo of herself at the beach, laughing. She looked happy, full of life. That person felt like a stranger now. She thought, where did that girl go? Can I find her again? She closed the album, sat back and whispered, "I need a break." The next morning, she made a decision. She wrote an email to her boss and asked for a few days off. It was not easy, but she did it. Then she packed a small bag and took a bus to the countryside. No plans, no meetings, no phone. Just time for herself. She stayed in a small guest house near the hills. There were trees, flowers, and a small river nearby. She walked for hours. She sat by the water and listened to the sound of nature. The wind, the birds, the leaves. No noise, no pressure. At first, it felt strange. She kept checking her phone. She felt guilty for not working. But slowly, that feeling changed. Each day, she felt more relaxed. Her sleep improved. She smiled. More, she started writing in a small notebook just her thoughts, her feelings. She wrote, "Today, I watched the sky for an hour. I didn't do anything else, and it felt good." One morning, she met an old woman who lived nearby. The woman was watering her flowers. Sarah said hello, and the woman smiled. "You're not from here?" The woman said kindly, "No, I just needed a break," Sarah replied. The old woman nodded. Sometimes doing nothing is the most important thing to do. They talked for a while. The woman told her stories about the village, her family, and her garden. She spoke slowly, gently. Sarah listened carefully. That conversation touched her heart. It reminded her that life is more than work. life is also rest, silence, and small joys. After 5 days, Sarah felt like a new person. She didn't feel tired anymore. Her mind was clear. Her heart was calm. When she returned to the city, her friends noticed something different. "You look better," Daniel said. "I feel better." Sarah smiled. She went back to work, but this time she made a few changes. She started saying no to extra tasks when she was tired. She stopped checking her emails late at night. She took short breaks during the days, just to breathe, stretch, or look outside. Some people didn't understand, but she didn't mind. We had learned something important. She had learned that we are not machines. We are humans. And humans need rest. A few weeks later, she shared her story with her coworkers. Some of them also started taking breaks. They started going for walks during lunch. Some spent time with their families. Others picked up old hobbies again. One small change had started something bigger. Sarah still worked hard. She still cared about her job. But now, she also cared about herself. And sometimes on busy mornings, she still remembered that little bird. Outside her window, the one that was just sitting, singing, and being free. She knew now that taking a break is not a weakness. It is a strength. It helps us heal, it helps us grow, helps us live. So the next time you feel tired, sad, or lost, remember this: you are allowed to pause. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to take a break, because sometimes doing nothing is exactly what you need.